Welcome to Orange Picks. I'm Borai. Halloween is just around the corner, and that means it's time for a horror marathon. I've rounded up the spookiest movies you can watch on Netflix, Prime Video, and Disney+. There are some movies that will make you leave the lights on at night. Which ones? They are waiting for you in the video. If you're ready, let's get started.
Somos prisioneros de nosotros mismos.
The Platform 2 is a very disturbing dystopian movie that deals with themes of social justice and class differences. Interestingly, it has a world that makes you feel like you are in the middle of the story. Although it is an expected sequel to the first movie, the pace may have slowed down for some viewers. However, the scenes that make you think about human nature and the struggle for survival are still effective. In my opinion, it can still be satisfying if you watch it with a little patience. Still, the IMDb score is a warning not to set your expectations too high when watching this movie.
Let us pray.
The Witch is especially for atmospheric horror lovers. Set in 1600s America, this movie reveals how a family is torn apart by religious pressure and the cruelty of nature. The narrative is slow, but this slowness draws the viewer into the movie and creates a magical tension. I think this movie offers a psychologically disturbing experience rather than traditional horror elements. If you are a patient viewer and want to be enveloped by atmosphere rather than jump scares, The Witch is for you.
You're safe now. You said you were safe? Safe from what?
The Night House is an interesting psychological thriller about grief, loss, and the depths of the subconscious. It is based on our character's deep depression after her husband's suicide and the mysterious events she encounters at home. The clues to be given to the audience throughout the movie are very cleverly placed. I can say that it is one of the rare films I have seen recently that leaves both an emotional and eerie aftertaste. Especially Rebecca Hall's performance is amazing. If you are ready for a scary and emotional journey, you should give this movie a chance. The Horror of Silence. A Quiet Place tells the story of a family trying to survive in a post-apocalyptic world against creatures hunting by sound. The silence in the movie is so tense that you want to watch it at home without making a sound. Not to mention the excellent performances of John Krasinski and Emily Blunt. The movie perfectly captures not only the horror, but also the family's instinct for protection. If you want to be quietly nervous, this is the movie for you.
Purge games this evening. We have just one more. It's called Mommy's Choice. Which one of you will survive this year's purge?
The Purge election year may be the movie where the political emphasis of the Purge series is most clearly felt. Set during the election period, the story revolves around characters fighting for the end of the Purge. On the one hand, the movie keeps the audience on the edge of their seats with its action-packed scenes. On the other hand, it harshly criticizes social inequality and power relations. Although its IMDb score is average, the Purge Night series really makes you watch it. Alien is one of the most iconic and successful films in horror cinema. Although it was made in 1979, it still has an ageless structure. Directed by Ridley Scott, this masterpiece is about a deadly creature encountered by a group of astronauts in space. If you haven't seen this movie yet, you are missing out. Siksa Kubur is an Indonesian horror movie that draws attention with its cultural differences. The movie deals with supernatural events that happen to a group of people. It has a very different approach compared to Western horror movies. Although the movie sometimes moves at a slow pace, its atmosphere is quite impressive with its traditional horror elements. You should get out of the Western movie structure and enjoy this Indonesian cinema.
There to let him go.
Jordan Peele's directorial debut, Get Out, is not only a horror movie, but also a deep social criticism. The film deals with racism and class difference, keeping the audience in a constant state of tension. The events Chris experiences in a rural house where he goes to meet his girlfriend seem ordinary at first, but things quickly spiral out of control. Peele has perfectly balanced horror and social criticism in this movie. I think it is one of the most original and thought-provoking horror films of recent years.
That he likes you.
That sounds like the bad guys teaming up. A lot of people are going to die.
Don't do this.
Glass is a continuation of M. Night Shyamalan's superhero universe that started with Unbreakable and Split. Bringing together the impressive performances of Bruce Willis, Samuel L. Jackson, and James McAvoy, the movie presents an extraordinary hero story. It's hard to describe this movie as an ordinary horror movie because it focuses more on psychological suspense and how superpowers intertwine with the mind than horror elements. Personally, if you like Shyamalan's style, you should watch this movie. World War Z is one of the most epic movies about the zombie outbreak ever made. Starring Brad Pitt in the lead role, this movie tells the story of the struggle to cope with a zombie outbreak that ravages the world. The action scenes in the movie are so suspenseful and exciting that you watch it with bated breath. Also, unlike zombie movies, this movie deals with a global catastrophe on a very large scale. If you like apocalyptic scenarios, suspense, and fast-paced action, World War Z is for you. Our horror session is over for today. For more horror content, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and support me by liking the video. See you in the next video.